on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Gray's Taproom Podcast. I don't know why I William Shatnered that shit, but I am one of your hosts, the Trash Can Tabby. And as always, sitting across from me, Santa isn't the only one who's going to be coming for Christmas. My co-host, Mike.
Yeah, that means I'm getting some booty.
It wasn't really a burn, but I thought it was funny.
Heidi ho. No, I like it. I like that better because it gives me hope.
And it's better than grab the rubber sheets and gerbil.
Yeah.
I'm bringing that up again.
You Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, I'm going to get you back.
Or a shaved Grinch.
I'm going to get you back for that one.
Basically making fun of you in every way, shape, and form possible.
So no, I'll get you back.
Let's get to this.
Oh, yeah. Let's get to that real quick because I'm over here drinking coffee and eggnog and bourbon.
We have more important things to deal with.
So real quick before we get any further into the episode, super excited that I finally found it. It's not from the one Old Smoky.
Yes.
This one is from another one, Sugarland.
Sister company. It's also in Gatlinburg.
Right. And you know, it's sad that I left the hotel where I used to work previously because I booked like a lot of rooms and she was going to bring me anything I wanted moonshine wise. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up.
You're fired.
I'm fired. No,
Right.
so this is Eggo waffles, brunch in a jar. I opened it. We smelt it. It's
God,
waffles.
It smells like a stack of pancakes and butter.
And syrup. And
it smells like Sunday morning.
I'm excited. Cheers.
Let's go.
That's dangerous.
Wow.
I taste the butter.
Wow.
I taste the syrup.
Yeah.
There's the crispy.
I taste
there's the
waffle.
crisp of the. Oh my god.
I taste the waffle mix.
Oh my god. Just the butter. Oh.
Another. I will be knocking this bottle out tonight.
Oh, and it's a jar.
Yeah, little jar. Yeah.
All right. So anywho.
We have a guest.
Yep. Do we?
Yeah.
He's not really
important.
a guest.
Shut up, you.
He's not really a guest.
Mind your business, you.
I mean, technically at this point, he's not a guest.
He's not a guest. He's a friend, and we love him so much. He's awesome.
I was going to say a part-time co-host, but or a part-time somebody on our show. I don't know.
Guest, friend,
It's fine.
part-time guest, full-time friend. Our good buddy. Our good buddy.
I tried.
He's the host of the what's the name of your podcast?
Look at the sticker.
Unfiltered Discussions.
Yes. And then that one, that other podcast.
The one that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually wearing that shirt that you can't. The
What's left
logo
of
is
it?
gone.
So introduce me so I can razz that shirt here real quick.
B-word.
Thank you. So you sent me a Snapchat with that shirt, and I don't remember what the night was that you were recording.
Are you sending him Snapchats of your boobies?
The shirt was on.
They were covered, bro. But what's funny is you sent me. It was right after Bleach Bros folded, and you sent me a Snapchat of that shirt, and you're like, it's deteriorated, and I'm like, yeah, like Bleach Bros, and you're like, oh,
I did. I was like,
Oh my god, no! It's Thanos dust.
yeah, dude. Thanos
there's
snapped,
nothing on the back,
and the logo is gone. It's but you know what, dude? I was talking with Jake this week, and actually it was the end of last week, and we were talking about the fact that we folded Bleach Bros, and how everybody reached out. They're like, oh my god, what's going on with you guys? Like, is there beef? Is there this? Is there that? Like, no, we're fucking awesome. Like, there's no problem with me and Jake. The issue is that creatively I wanted to go in one direction and he wanted to go in another direction, and we'd kind of been pulling at that for probably about 4 or 5 months, and it was one of those things that we just didn't have the same kind of fun that we had before,
right?
And so rather than like irritating each other, we just decided, if it's not the fun that we wanted to have anymore, like, why are we doing it? And so we just decided, like, let's fold it up. So Jake is he's still somewhat quasi a part of the hut, so we still got that going on, and final episode of the hut will come out at the end of the year. But now I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I want to do, because I'm doing Unfiltered Discussions, and I love Unfiltered Discussions, but there was a big thing that Bleach Bros gave me, and I loved Bleach Bros. I loved everything about it really, but I loved definitely like talking movies and talking sports and talking all those subjects that we talked about. And I love doing it with a real good friend of mine. So I miss Bleach Bros probably more than all of the people who listen to us, all 12 of them. But
hey, that's my line.
I know.
I'm half of it. I'm half the demographic. She's the other half.
Yeah, there we go.
But I mean, but for what it was, I think we ended at a good time. We ended like episode wise, like content wise, I think we ended fine. And it's not something I regret. As a matter of fact, I've been going back and listening to different episodes. I think I'm like 8 or 9 episodes into our 133 right now, just revisiting the process.
Awesome.
And I'm very proud of the product. I think we did a lot of good stuff on there. But Unfiltered Discussions is my baby right now. You both have been on there. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You
for
both
having
had
us
some
for
tremendous stories. Great feedback on both of your content, actually.
Thank
So love doing that. And I love you guys. You know, it's a lot of fun to hang out, and I love your lives, and I listen to you guys every week. And then I get behind, and I'm usually like behind like 6 episodes, and I'm like, okay, I've got to listen to Grey's, and then I hop into it and I catch up, and it seems like, you know, like a Thanos snap. I'm all of a sudden I'm caught back up again. So
That's
love
awesome.
doing this. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for
You
being
said
on.
Bleach Bros ended at episode 133.
133.
Damn, we're so close.
I know.
This is 132 for us.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Fuck, I just ruined it for you guys.
All right,
Oh,
well,
it's over.
let's put a pin in this. We'll come back to it next week.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna end next week. Next week's gonna be our final
Yeah.
episode.
We'll air this episode next week.
Last episode of Grey's Tap Room coming out next week. Tune in. But yeah, I mean, we had 100. Actually, there's 134.
Mhm.
Technically, there's 135. Okay,
Yep.
Technically.
That missing episode.
Yeah, there's the first one that we sent out as a tester. And so I kind of want to get into this, but I'll circle back to it. So we sent one out as a tester to people that we enjoyed, and then there was the missing episode, which I went back and I listened to, and it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. So that one might get published. I don't know, but we'll see. And
What's it
Release
gonna hurt now?
Release the
at
bleach
this point,
cut.
probably not a whole lot, but then we had, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 Patreon episodes total.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, we had good content that came out. But the one thing that I want to circle back to, when Jake and I decided to podcast, and you guys know exactly what this is like.
Yeah.
When you decide that you're going to do a podcast, you have everybody and their mother telling you what you should podcast about topic wise, and then telling you what they do or don't like about your content. Oh, you drink too much. Oh, you swear too much. Oh, you should talk about this. Oh, you should talk about that. The one thing that we decided was we don't want to cater to that. Like, we want to talk about the things that make us happy. So, but we did do some testing episodes, and our very first episode that we were going to publish, Jake had bought a cheap ass microphone.
Sounds like Jake.
And I didn't. And I bought a quality microphone, and I bought a quality setup, and Jake was cheap, and he bought the fucking cheapest microphone you could find. And we recorded the perfect episode. Perfect. We watched Mortal Kombat. It was right during COVID. So it was the Mortal Kombat that came out on HBO Max. We watched that. We did a nice review on it. We talked about movie theater etiquette. We talked about the podcast, where we wanted to go. It started out great, and it ended perfect. It ended perfect. And you think about that, like every time you're done recording an episode, and you're like, God, that was a great fucking episode, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hit end. And the way that we recorded up front was, it wasn't through like Zoom. It wasn't through any of this shit. So he was recording on his drive on his computer. I was recording on my drive on my computer.
Ooh.
We were talking to each other through the telephone, which is how we communicated. So that's how that was going. And when he sent me his audio, it shrunk, and it sounded like mice. And I went, oh shit, this is the perfect episode. Like, we'd already put out, hey, first episode coming out this weekend, like all this sort of stuff, right? It was perfect. It was a perfect episode. So I have a friend of mine who owns a studio in Eastern Nevada in a town called Ely. He's a music pastor there, and he actually has an actual studio that bands will come and spend, like they'll do like a retreat there.
Yeah.
And it's not all Christian bands. Like, he'll have other bands that show up and whatever, but it's a sound studio, and he's got places to stay and everything. So I reached out to him, and I'm like, hey, can you salvage this? and he couldn't salvage it.
Oh.
So we're like, well, I guess we're just going to have to do something. So I hopped on the old Roadcaster and brought him in via telephone call, and we just put that one together. So a lot of good memories with that podcast.
Was it one of those things where, like, if this guy can't save it, then throw it in the garbage?
Yeah. And there was no salvaging it. Like, you would hear my audio, like my audio would come across.
Ouch.
But that wasn't the dynamic, right? Like we're having a conversation. So I'm talking, then Jake's talking, then I'm talking, then Jake's talking. And there was no way to salvage the episode itself. So
we've all been there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've been there multiple times this past year.
Well, last summer we had an episode. We had Wait What
this past summer.
Yeah. We had Wait What on the show, and
we're going to StreamYard.
StreamYard was like, dude, you're not fucking recording this. I'm shutting it down.
It was awful. It was the worst I've ever heard. I tried 15 to 20 second everything.
Lags.
Yeah.
We kept getting kicked out.
So there's a couple things. So this whole Bleach Bros journey, I've learned so much about podcasting, and what I think probably the most important thing I've learned is sound quality, but also like how to prevent those lags. So with those lags, if you take your not an HDMI cable, what's the internet cable called?
Ethernet.
The Ethernet cable, and you plug it right into your computer.
We tried that.
We tried that still.
But it's not just you; it's your guests too.
Oh, gotcha.
So if everybody's plugged in Ethernet wise, and everybody's got a good connection, it should work. Also, though, like, we were recording a long episode, and I don't remember what the episode was, but it was a long episode, and our guest didn't have enough memory on his computer to continue.
Yikes.
So there was like 20 minutes of the episode where his audio was cut out, and we kept recording. And so, because we didn't know. And so what I had to do separately was reach out to the guest and have them come back on. And I had to upload the audio and get his natural responses if he was having that. And then, of course, as an editor, I'd have to go back through and snip and paste. And what a fucking mess that was. But it is what it is, man.
We had that issue. Remember when Amos was here last year?
Oh, yeah.
We did an episode with Amos from the Moose Lounge.
Live in studio.
Here. In studio.
And Jeff called in.
Yeah, and Jeff called in. Something happened to the audio where we had to scrap it. So, and then we had to call Amos while we were after editing.
No, I opened it up, listened to the first like 20 minutes of it, and was like, I can't save this.
So we had to call him.
There was no way.
He had to video call us while he was at his in-laws' house for dinner.
I mean, you do
what
you gotta do.
20-minute episode just to have something to throw out.
Yeah.
And then Jeff never got to be on the show.
That's the thing about podcasting that I don't think that the listeners know, is like the troubles that we go into, and then how fast we have to modify and pivot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's if the product is not coming out in the manner that you want to, or if your guest cancels, there's so much that just goes into the whole podcasting thing. And for people out there that do it alone, like Aaron.
Oh yeah.
You know how hard it is to do your own podcast where there's no other dialogue. I mean, the twat waffles and your
Cults and Killers.
Yeah, the Killers one.
I canceled it.
Yeah, it's tough, dude.
Episodes.
It's tough.
I mean, I even try to get into the mindset of like, hey, there's somebody sitting right there, right next to me. Yeah. We're going to pretend to have a conversation, but they're not going to respond. But it didn't work.
Well, there was a few times when I was doing Cults and Killers, I was going to ask her, hey, can you just come sit at the table across from me and just look at me while I talk? Yeah. You don't have to say shit. Just look at me. When I say something.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Well, and then how many times do you have a thought and you run with the thought and then you lose the thought? Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have severe ADHD, so that's almost all the fucking time for me if I'm by myself.
Squirrel.
You have adult dick hand job disorder?
2 of them.
All right, fantastic.
Three-way.
So, but it is interesting, and that's why I love what Aaron does. I talk with Aaron often enough, probably the same amount that I talk with you guys, but I'll be listening to his show and I can hear where Aaron, and this is not a shot at Aaron at all, but where Aaron can be a little insecure about the audience. Like, what's the audience going to think about this? Do you guys want to hear this? Whatever. And I'll just shoot him a text and I'm like, just do what you're doing. Like, I'm a huge fan of you because of what you're doing. Like, just keep going. Like, and that's the one thing that I've learned in podcasting, like with Unfiltered Discussions. I personally don't want to talk trauma the entire time. Like,
no.
I want to talk good stories. I want to talk fascinating stories. I want to talk about things that I'm interested in. But the one thing that tends to come up often is, oh, well, I lost this person in my life, or, you know, I almost died here, and here's how I handled my mental health. And I'm not discounting any of those conversations. Those are very valid conversations, and I appreciate mental health being talked about in a public forum. But I can't do it every week.
Oh,
I have to mix and match. And so this season, I've had a paranormal investigator on. I think you guys heard that episode.
Yes.
I had Mike on where he was talking about his little testicles. I had a whole bunch of different.
It's an accomplishment for me.
It is, actually. It makes his dick look bigger, even though it's 3 inches. But
that's the accomplishment.
Mediocre.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that I do want to have different conversations that go into that. But the one thing that I'm looking to do, and again, we start talking about that, do you want to do it alone thing? And I don't want to do it alone. I want to talk more movies and TV shows and theories and trailer reviews and that sort of stuff. So I am looking to kind of pivot that way for me. But but ultimately, I love the podcast game. And you know what the biggest thing, and I know I'm long-winded in this, so you guys tell me to shut up at whatever point you want.
You're good. But
you know what I love about the podcast game is not necessarily the product that you put out. Like, I'm proud about the product that I put out with this project, with, you know, my involvement with Hateful Gnome, with the Bleach Bros. But I love the community.
Oh, yes.
Like, there's so many podcasters that secretly and quietly root for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to throw them under the bus because I don't think it's appropriate, but there was a podcaster who posted on Twitter that basically just, it was a depression post. It wasn't like a questioning my life to kill myself post, but it was a, hey, I'm struggling post. And with the, hey, I'm struggling post, I ended up messaging him, and I was like, hey man, here's my phone number. Like, if you're going through something, just give me a call. I mean, I might not be able to take your call right then, but just give me a call. And I ended up getting a text from him today. And he's like, he goes, B-word, I completely forgot you sent me your number a few weeks ago, but I was having a rough time, so I completely forgot. I have it saved now. I apologize. And I'm like, no worries, dude. It happens to the best of us. Just happy to be connected with you. And that's the big thing. Like, you know, we're a community of creators, and while we might not all support each other through Patreon or through whatever the modality is, at the end of the day, we're all humans. And I think that's a good thing that we care about each other, you know?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, if it wasn't for the podcast community, like us being brought into the Poorhouse group on Twitter, never would have met you guys. Never would have met even half of the people that we consider friends.
Aaron, Whiskey Hell, Mish, Porn Stash, all those guys. Just shout out to everyone in that group chat.
The ones who are active.
Yeah. I'm only active on Mondays at 4.
Or when you're drunk on the weekends and wanting to start shit.
I want to talk shit. Yeah.
It was funny because you guys were not a part of that bracket challenge. I think you guys entertained it or something, but you weren't a part of it.
Don reached out when he was starting it.
When he first,
and I said,
it's been almost 2 years.
He goes, do you guys want to be a part of this? And I said, I looked at her. I went, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
No. We were one of the first choices. And
I knew what happened is what I predicted would happen.
Well, and that's fine. And Jake and I didn't know anybody within the group. We were pretty new to the group at that point. And
it was more of you guys introducing yourselves to everyone in the group.
But Jake and I are super competitive. So we looked at everybody except for Sam, you know, Dad's on Dayquil or Inner Idiot.
Yeah.
And we looked at everybody as competition, and probably too much, I think, because I didn't appreciate the Whiskey Hells at that time. I didn't appreciate the 69 whiskey, which was, you know, what Mish was a part of at the time. I didn't appreciate Porn Stash at the time. You know, I didn't appreciate, like, we had Big Nick on from Gag on This, I think prior to or right about that time that we got involved.
Fuck you, Big Nick.
So, you know, we did all that sort of stuff, but like, there's so much, right, that like we learned about like other podcasters, and then there were some that just didn't care. Like, My biggest gripe is not Don. I know I fucking shit on Don all the time, but he just I should have known. Everybody should have known he was going to fail at the end. But it was like legit podcasts that I was a fan of that like turn on me, and like Doom Generation, right?
Yeah.
Like Doom Generation, I was a legit fan of their podcast, and
they
I'm like,
us, and we weren't even a part of any of it.
Same, and so like, you know, we had actually done a challenge with them. We went head to head with them.
Yeah.
We joked back and forth. Like I was supposed to create a logo for them and not Sweet and Sour Nuggies or whatever the other one was. And like it all got switched around and like this whole thing, right? So, but like I loved at the time Doom Generation. Like I thought we had this great, you know, camaraderie, if you will. Next thing you know, I'm blocked and we're blocked and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized that there's players within this group that like to talk shit. And it was high school again, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But everybody else that I met through this process, solid fucking people.
Oh,
solid people.
Well, we weren't a part of that bracket group chat, but I'll tell you what, we get screenshots.
Oh, yeah.
We have insides, like people in the inside taking screenshots.
And that's the thing is that like we, Jake and I really had a problem with what happened with Tyler. Like Tyler was thrown under the bus, and there's no reason for Tyler to be thrown under the bus. And for listeners that are listening to this and you have no clue what it's about, just understand it's premium high school popularity contest. That's all it is, with a community of people who largely support each other and a handful of people who just wanted to create drama.
Oh yeah.
And it just it was what it was. But you know what? I am a forgiving person. I wish them success regardless if I'm blocked or not. I hope that they make it big. I hope they make good money doing whatever they're doing. But on the flip side, I just don't want to be a part of that.
No.
So
I mean, we're in it to have fun. That's what we're in it to give us something to do. I know that I look forward to recording on Friday or Saturday or whenever we decide to record. You know, I always look forward to when we have a guest on. I'm like, oh my God, I get to talk to them, or holy crap, what are we going to talk about? I'm so excited.
I mean,
and
I'll be real. This particular episode, I've been hyping myself up all fucking week for it.
What, for the hot takes?
No, just
to be with B Word.
Well, yeah, because it's B Word, and he's like, you know, we're really good friends, and and well, besides that part.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm a top, you're a bottom. I mean, you know, we just match. We're the missing puzzle pieces. I'll be gentle. I'll hold the weight. It's fine. But you know, like I've been hyped about this too. I know that this is going to be fun, and then, you know, for the audience again, we're also doing some Patreon content after this, which is also awesome, and I can't wait for that.
I'm so excited. So for those of you listening,
fun to have fun on Last Call.
Oh yeah, B Word would B Word and Leskis at the same time, so that he could scream at Leskis about his fucking filters.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed, and I was sober. That's the hard part. I was sober and I didn't have all the filters, and I'm like, damn it, this sucks.
We'll work it out.
Still dwelling on that? It's been a week,
dude. I'm still dwelling on the mead that I never got.
And that was what,
it was delicious. It was delicious.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I actually have to make my way down to Vegas and go see AJ again because
and go get
yeah, I need to go grab some meat, and I will pick it up and bring it home because I will ensure that happens. But yeah, I mean, but
I drive.
No, it is if depending on what state you live in, because I have to drive all the way across the state, which is like 8 hours. And it's 8 hours of nothing but desert. Like it would be different if like I was going through city after city or trees or hills or
that's here.
It's just desert.
Well, corn and
corn's Indiana. You got to go up for corn.
Yeah,
dude, we don't have corn in the state of Nevada. Like we have corn in the state of Nevada. We don't have corn in the state of Nevada.
So taking it back to the Patreon though, is
corn that you want to eat.
Corn. I like corn.
I'm excited for this one. So we haven't been prepared for the loser of the recast.
Yeah.
It's kind of been like, oh, you lost. Where's the nearest disgusting alcohol? Here, take a drink of that. For those of you listening and you want to hear this episode, it'll come out before this episode. The recast.
If you're listening to it, it dropped. It's Sunday.
Yeah, so it dropped yesterday.
In 2 days.
So yeah, we each have the punishment shot, drink, whatever, and it's
we don't know what they are.
we don't know what the other has chosen for us.
So if I lose, I don't know what she bought for me.
Yeah.
And if I win, she doesn't know what I bought for her. And what I'm mixing it with, that banana liqueur will be mixed in with it.
I kind of feel like she's better off with the porn stash pea cum.
I'll lick that off the table.
Look, I threw up because I had to do a Bloody Mary shot.
See, I
I
told
like Bloody
you.
Marys, bro.
I told you.
The worst.
Told you. Fuck Big Nick.
Yeah, it was Big Nick is the reason.
You can go back and listen to that episode and hear Mike throw up.
There's a dog on your shoulder, B-word.
Oh yeah. He's on the couch back here, just like looking. But
handsome devil. So yeah, super excited about the recasting of Elf.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be a really good time.
You just did a review on Elf on Seismic
Cinema. Yeah,
I did.
Seismic Cinema.
And let me tell you about Seismic Cinema. Like
love them boys.
That's the whole thing about the whole podcast network,
the indie podcast community.
Yeah, they're solid people, and both Paul and Colin, I've had a chance to interact with through different social media and whatever, and it's been different things. Like Colin got married, and I think Paul got married, and they've all had life events, right? Which is another thing that we all kind of figure out about each other. But it was cool being on with James and Colin because, first off, James, dude, your accent, solid. Like, I wish I could talk like that. I can't imagine you drunk, bro. Like, that would be a hard time. That would be a hard time.
If you really want to shit your pants, be awake for 30 hours and then try to understand them talk.
Yeah.
Which shout out to those guys last weekend when we did our 24-hour. I'm trying like hell to both keep my eyes open and my attention,
trying to figure out what they're saying.
Like, does Zoom come with subtitles?
Yeah.
No, and I mean no offense to you guys. We love
thick
you both.
Scottish.
You guys
thick.
are awesome.
Oh yeah, but they're great.
Being awake that as long as you and I were.
Oh yeah.
Trying to.
Oh yeah.
Especially Colin.
Oh yeah.
Because his Scottish accent is.
See, and Colin, for me, like I could understand Colin. James was a bit rough. Like, and thankfully, I mean, they probably did this because I'm a white American, right? But but they talk slower than they've had on their episodes. Now, candidly, I don't listen to every episode of theirs, but there are some that like intrigue me, and so I'll listen. And I've listened to some of their soccer, seismic soccer podcasts and stuff, even though like I'm not the biggest soccer person, but. What I will say is that we reviewed Elf, the movie from 2003, which we'll recast in the podcast, but it was fun. I mean, I had a good time. I liked their takes. I felt like they were educated going into it. I didn't feel like I had to carry them. I felt like I could contribute, which is good, because I think we've all done a guest spot where we feel like we have to carry it. And like sometimes I just want to show up. Like I don't want to have to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, we got to go on their show when they reviewed. Well, over the summer they posted a bunch of horror movies, and of course one of them was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. I was like, oh, jump on top of that! I love that. And then we talked about the 2003 the remake, and they've never seen it. So Colin seen it, but Paul seen it, but Colin did not. And it was a great time. We didn't have to carry.
Mail them our copy of it. We were gonna ship our copy that we have to Scotland so they could watch it.
But they ended
fantastic.
Up buying it
themselves. So.
Well, and the other part, like circling back to the whole podcast, when when we partnered together, the one thing that, and I don't want to say we created anything, we being Bleach Bros or me and Jake or whatever, but there were some ideas that were implemented pretty early on in our podcast journey that we noticed other podcasts doing after we did it. So whether they found it out through us or they decided to do it themselves, that's to be determined. But like the guest intros, like, having other podcasts like introduce our show.
That's awesome.
Or having other promos for other podcasts that, we didn't really think about commercials in probably the first 20 episodes. But once we decided that that's probably going to be a need, we wanted to include commercial spots. And so in doing so, we ended up doing a lot of promos for other podcasts. And some of the ones that we did up front were like Dad's on Dayquil. We did you guys. We did Aaron from I Had to Say It. We had a lot of different, like he was good too. And so we actually, you ever see that America's Got Talent when you get the two big old sumo looking guys where they're trying to make sounds off of their body? Yeah, that's Aaron and I when we're having sex. So
it'll be me and Aaron on my birthday weekend. We're going to visit Aaron for my birthday.
Nice. But yeah, it's just one of those things that we implemented some things, and then of course our Salty Hippo stickers all over the place. We noticed other podcasts really got in the sticker game after that. But I say all that to say this is that Seismic Cinema was always awesome. They were always willing to participate. They were always introducing us and taking part. In our very last episode, we had both Seismic Cinema and SP Film viewers introduce the both of us to introduce our final movie. So it was really cool. And you guys were a part of our countdown. Aaron was a part of our countdown. We had, Gnome was a part of our countdown. We had some really good people that have been through our podcast,
Oh yeah.
Well, it was an honor.
I know. I still, it's only been, this was the third Monday now. My Mondays are still weird.
Kick off the week with Witchfest.
I still listen to Unfiltered every week.
Oh yeah.
So,
but it drops on Mondays, so
I just don't hear this weird looking guy saying "suck my dick" every 3 seconds.
Hey, we're not getting drunk on a Monday. That's what sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing too when Dad's on Dayquil. I don't know that they've officially folded. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there.
I feel like
a nice
hiatus right now. So I don't know that they've officially folded, but once they stopped, my Wednesdays were different, right?
Yeah.
The other podcast that I really liked was Fraternize with These Guys.
Oh God, I love them.
When they folded, I was like, oh damn.
Well,
right.
Fun fact about that one: they recorded an episode with us,
and then they folded.
Like
I think we
Pinewood. Yeah, Pinewood disappeared like in the middle of the recording. He just disappeared, and then that was it.
That was May last year.
Oh wow.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was May last year.
Oh,
2022.
But I still talked to BZ.
They were on our show, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I think
they had a lot of life stuff going on.
Oh,
their final episode was done extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And but there's that's the thing about the podcast game. We all have jobs. We're not rich.
Oh yeah.
Not yet.
And Apple Boys, same thing. Like Apple Boys hasn't been putting anything out. And the main thing is that all of them work in retail. So you're talking about Christmas season and all that sort of stuff. So potentially after the holidays, they might come back out, but they're the only podcast followed by Miller Lite. So, it is kind of cool that way.
That is awesome.
Hey, we're the only podcast followed by Twisted Tea
and Slim Jim.
We got a follow from Slim Jim.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a follow from the Dare Dog, whatever his name was.
Oh yeah, we did too. That's because Linda.
No, that's Scruff McGruff.
Yeah.
Is it Scruff?
Was it Scruff McGruff?
We're followed by Scruff McGruff. Yeah,
that's because Linda.
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. All right.
Anyway,
so we've talked about podcasting.
Well, that's podcasting hot takes.
Now
we didn't say what kind of hot takes.
Yes.
Right.
Well, now we got to do Christmas hot takes.
I'm ready.
And this is going to be wild. Now,
me too.
So for those of you listening, just know that these are all matters of opinion. This might get heated at times.
Oh yeah.
But it's all in love and friendship. And
if you don't
whether
like,
or not Mike gets booty later, depending on my hot takes. But no, this it's matters of opinion. It's all good. If fights break out, then you know what? Joe Rogan's in the house to call the fight. So
Mike's getting his ass whooped.
Normally, I would say, since B-Word's the guest, we'll let him go first. But I think I'm going to go first. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room.
I already know what you're going to say.
Die Hard. I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
You don't say.
I second that.
Really?
I watched Die Hard.
Really?
I do. And the reason is because yes, it takes place near Christmas.
On Christmas.
I don't
Christmas Eve.
I don't think
Christmas
it's
Eve.
on Christmas.
It's on Christmas Eve.
But here's my point. Okay, now that may have happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
But when I watch movies thinking about now. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When we have Christmas parties at work, it's like December 10th.
Exactly.
So when we have a Christmas party, right, and some Russian dude comes in and we're like, oh, what are you doing here? And then next thing you know, he's trying to be, this badass. Like, I like the movie. I like Die Hard.
It's a great action movie.
Bruce Willis is on record before he could remember it, saying that it is not a Christmas movie.
It was at his roast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He said that he closed with Die Hard is not
a Christmas movie.
A Christmas movie. Correct.
If Bruce Willis says it.
And then you get to the point of it in any rational business, okay? Unless you're like Nicolas Cage in The Family Man. You shut your mouth. That's
her least favorite movie of all time.
No, I love that movie.
Anyway, I know we already know. We've already talked about this before.
But
on their episode.
Yeah.
But any rational business does not have their staff at a Christmas party on December 24th.
Right.
That is a family time. I'd have to rewatch Die Hard. It's been a few years. If it actually is December 24th, then that was done for the movie purposes. That is not real life. So it is not a Christmas movie.
I believe, and here's my argument with it. The movie is centered around a terrorist attack.
It's Christmas
Eve.
You're
saying the movie was made in September.
It doesn't need to be a terrorist attack. Clearly, as we've learned in real life, terrorist attacks don't need to happen in December to make. They could happen on any day of the week throughout the whole year.
It's like that meme I sent you guys the other day about
genders
yesterday and terrorist attacks.
Yeah. Actually, I woke up. I was taking my 4 a.m. shits, and I was looking at that meme.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was funny.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I seen it before I went to bed.
I mean, sure, it has Christmas music in it.
Yeah. Christmas trees and lights.
I've caught myself singing Christmas music in the middle of, I don't know, fucking April.
Well, yeah, but that's because it like pops into your head.
Sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily. I mean, the plot of that movie would not change if it happened on
4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, you name it.
June 3rd.
Right.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your rationale that it's a Christmas movie there, Tabs? Is it just the Christmas trees, Christmas lights?
No. Oh, I agree that it is not a Christmas movie.
Okay.
And I just watched it for the first time last night or 2 nights ago.
Wednesday, we watched it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason you were saying it was.
No. I don't believe it is a Christmas movie. Absolutely not.
I hadn't seen the movie since I was probably Gunner's age. And a podcast that I favorite, listen to every week, they did an episode
Confused Breakfast.
Confused Breakfast. Their newest episode was on Die Hard, and I was listening to it like, fuck, I kind of really want to watch Die Hard right now. And all day at work, I was thinking, fuck, I can't wait to go home and watch Die Hard tonight.
I'm really happy you put the word watch in there. Like, not like I really want to die hard right now.
I mean, I can make that happen. Quite easy.
Well, Die Hard and Die Happy are the exact same thing. If you're
rigor mortis is a real thing.
Yeah. My mortis is rigged.
Jesus Christ. Beware.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah, we're good. Everybody can stop listening.
I really didn't see that coming. I really thought that B Word was going to debate that.
You really didn't see that coming?
No.
Neither did Helen Keller.
Also, on top of that, every year that I have this argument with, I'm done. If you want to think it is, fine.
Okay.
Go ahead. Some people think Jesus is real. It's okay. Believe what you want. Next topic.
I think you should just let your kids believe in Santa because I thought my first marriage was going to last. So why can't I just, think Santa's real? That being said, my Christmas hot take, I was jealous of Santa one year. I think that Santa should only deliver stocking stuffers because my kid got a bicycle. She got like all the Disney princess Barbies. She got all this sort of stuff, right? And she opens Santa's gifts and she's like, oh my God, Santa's the greatest. And then she opens mine and she's like, oh, these are cool, nice socks. Yeah, I like this toothbrush. So I decided one year to swap that shit. and Santa does the stocking stuffers, and Dad gets the credit for the good gifts. So,
oh yeah,
I think that is a hot take. I think parents, and there's a couple reasons. So, number one, it eased my jealousy, but also number two, I think for kids that don't have the same fortune as she had, or Gunner has, or whoever has, if Santa's only delivering stocking stuffers, it takes the mystique of Santa away in a sense where why does Santa give them an Xbox and me a toothbrush?
Yeah.
That was me growing up as a child. That's why Gunner has always, I got to be careful what I say too loud. But
we did get Gunner a VR for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that comes from us as to where
Santa, we got him that shit.
See, that was my problem is, dude, I was sitting there like, fuck Santa, fuck this fool. Like, and I'm looking at him in the mirror and I'm like, fuck you, Santa.
You're cussing at yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, that was my childhood growing up as well, is like they would get, Nintendo 64s and all of these cool stuff. And I would get socks or Barbie doll or something that was last year's hot thing.
Was the Nintendo 64 a Christmas gift for you?
No, I bought my own Nintendo 64.
Really?
Well, it was Jace's.
That's okay. Santa didn't bring me mine. B-word. It's okay.
Santa never brought me the Pink Ranger.
Oh, you always asked for that every year, didn't you?
I still ask
the
Santa
Pink
for
Ranger
that.
and Kelly Kapowski.
I'm still asking Santa for that. But this time I want nudes. I'm still asking for those.
100%.
For those leaked photos.
Yeah. Santa, I just want complete access to her OnlyFans. Please and thank you.
I want access to her album on her phone, her photo album on her phone. I need the passcode.
I want her to do the little arm dance and be like, it's B-word time. And I'll be like, oh.
It's B-word, bitch.
Just a ringtone of that or a text tone.
Yeah, perfect.
That's all you need.
Do you remember the Batcave set from Batman Returns?
Yeah.
With the Wayne Manor?
I had that.
Same. I was telling her last night.
That. It was the most badass fucking bat toy ever.
For mine, the Ninja Turtles lived in it.
Oh, see, but that's not bad.
No, it was
that's
imagination.
Not bad, though.
Imagination, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All my action figures that I bought, I used my lawnmower money to buy action figures, and that's where they all lived, was in the Batcave.
I like that.
Mostly X-Men and Mortal Kombat action figures.
Are we ready for my hot take?
Go for it.
I don't know if it's really a hot take or not, but A Christmas Story is a piece of shit movie.
I'm gonna delete
absolute
that from my
trash.
List, I fucking agree.
All the way off with that.
I hate it. It is absolute garbage. There is no reason for it to exist.
Do you like The Sandlot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like The Wonder Years?
Yeah.
Kind of. Say hit or miss.
Okay. If you like The Wonder Years with Fred Savage, not the new one that they had with whatever, and you like The Sandlot, A Christmas Story is basically the same thing. It's you have a narrator who's narrating himself from the future that is looking back and reminiscing about a time in his life, and I appreciate that with A Christmas Story. Now, there are certain things that are culturally different because of the age of it, right?
Right.
However, it's a great for those traditional families, right? It is a great story about what Christmas meant for a 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid, whatever it was. And when you think back and you think like, what toys did you want that you were told you weren't allowed to have? Like that's what the Red Ryder was, right? You're going to shoot your eye out with that kid.
The Bat Kid.
And I think that the Santa Claus in that, where he kicks him down the slide and like, dude, how many mall Santas did we all go and see? We all saw
lots.
some, right? Like there are some terrible mall Santas. So I relate to that movie so much. So I'm going to disagree with you and I'm going to tell you, fucking go back to your trash can. God damn it.
I am the trash can, so I can go back into myself.
Can I go inside my trash can?
Yeah, just put a lid on it first.
No, I don't understand. Like, I guess maybe
it's a boring movie.
It honestly, yes, it is a very boring movie.
Well,
but can I just say though, for the past well, not for the past, but like for the first 10 years of my hotelier life, I always worked Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, to where that constantly, like, we couldn't turn it. Like, we had to watch it.
Well, when we go to my parents' house,
that's all your
Christmas Day,
yeah, TBS plays it on repeat.
But there's a difference in your argument. You said it's a trash movie.
Yeah.
You didn't say it's overhyped or overplayed. You said it's a trash movie.
For me, it's also it's overhyped and overplayed.
I can accept those, but to call it a trash movie is where I dispute that. It is not a trash movie.
It's
overhyped then.
Perfect.
It's overhyped and
you are entitled to your wrong opinion. However, A Christmas Story is a solid fucking Christmas film. I'm not saying it's the best. I do watch it every Christmas Day once. I don't leave it on. I don't sit there and listen to it in the background. When I wake up Christmas morning, assuming that my kid's not in the house, we're opening gifts, whatever, I have a Blu-ray, of A Christmas Story. I'll plug it into the Blu-ray player. I'll watch it. I'll have some nog. I'll have some coffee, and that's it. I turn it off. I watch it. It's good. It's great. Once a year. I can understand your thought process that if you're in the hotels and it's on the entire day,
right,
that's a bit much. That's overplayed, and I can agree with you that that's overplayed, but it's not a trash movie.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Nightmare Before Christmas.
That was my next one.
A Halloween movie. It is not a Christmas movie. It is 110% pure Christmas.
I think it's a Halloween movie.
No, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay,
it's Christmas. Me and Jace are the only two people that now B word. So 3 that agree that it is a Christmas movie. It is not a Halloween movie. It is not both.
Well,
it is pure Christmas.
I mean, at least Tim Burton was smart enough to market it for 2 holidays. So that he can take it for Halloween and or Christmas.
Okay, so Edward Scissorhands. What is it? Is it a Christmas movie?
No.
It's a Labor Day movie.
Edward Scissorhands?
I mean, sure, why not? It could be whatever movie you want.
You ready for this one?
It's a Flag Day movie.
Is it because there's snow and there's Christmas time towards the end of it?
And there's gifts?
Technically, it could be a 4th of July movie.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie.
I know.
But there's a lot of people that would debate that Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie.
Edward Scissorhands or The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Edward Scissorhands. You're losing me here. Edward Scissorhands.
Who says Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie?
You'd be surprised.
There's a lot of people that do.
Goobers that we work with at haunted houses.
Can I go back to Nightmare Before Christmas? I mean, think of it this way. Jack is the epitome of a toxic fan. He makes Christmas his entire personality for like 15 minutes of the entire movie, but then goes back to being Halloween-y. That's why I think it's a Halloween movie.
He tries to turn himself into Santa Claus. He kidnaps Santa Claus and takes over the role of Santa Claus.
I hate that you said that. Now the song's
Hey, guess what, fellow Santas? There's one time a year that we all fucking turn into Christmas, and then we go back and we celebrate Black Monday in January, and then we celebrate Biden Day in February, and then we celebrate all of that shit throughout the year. So for you to sit here and say, well, he tries to, well, fucking for 15 minutes on Martin Luther King Day, I'm like, thank you, Martin Luther King. The world is a better place with you. And then I go on about my day. Like, I'm speechless.
have another beer, word.
No,
it's kicking in.
Is it?
Woo!
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna send Lescus a link then. Get him in there.
But no, I mean I personally think it's a Halloween movie.
And people think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and that's okay.
Well, thank you for validating my opinion.
Yes.
Are we ready for my next hot take?
Absolutely.
Since Mike's hot take was fucking commandeered by you.
No, go ahead.
It was not.
So, what day of the week is Thanksgiving?
Thursday.
What day of the week is Easter?
Sunday.
It depends on the calendar.
No, it doesn't. It's always
what day
on a Sunday.
of the week? It's always
Sunday. Yeah, it depends on the month.
I agree with you on this one.
What was the exact day that Jesus was born? Nobody fucking knows.
Thank you.
Right?
Yep. That's what I was gonna. I don't know.
So that being the case, why don't they do Christmas as the third Saturday of the month?
Yes.
Or why don't they do Halloween as the last Saturday of the month?
Amen.
Because I really think that for parents who are trying to plan around the holidays, for families to go and get together, that it should not be one standard day.
Absolutely.
In the United States, we already have days of the year that are already celebrated. Martin Luther King Day is a Monday. President's Day is a Monday. The Super Bowl is a Sunday. Yes, that's a fucking holiday.
Cheers to that.
So Thanksgiving is a Thursday. They should have a standardized day to allow families to travel, to get together, to celebrate over a weekend. I know not everybody works over a weekend, but God damn it, weekends are the best for people.
Yeah,
and then we go through that. You want to make everything commercialized anyway, which takes place, takes away from the spirit of the season. Why don't you give us a little bit back and say the last Sunday of the month, or Saturday, or the third Saturday, or whatever it is, that's Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you brought up Halloween, I'm actually of the belief that Halloween should be the last Friday in October.
So you can get a 3-day weekend.
So we can have the whole weekend to celebrate.
Here in Nevada. So Nevada Day. Nevada was founded in 1865 on October 31st. Yes. So Nevada Day is Halloween. Like they match together. Here in Nevada, we have a big ass parade in northern Nevada, in Carson City, where I live. And the state closes on the last Friday of October, and then the parade typically takes place, depending on where the calendar falls, on that Saturday. The parade always takes place on a Saturday, so it could be the last Saturday of the month or the first Saturday of November. Either way, that's how that works. So here, unfortunately, kids have to trick or treat on the 31st, and I don't think that that's fair, because I think Halloween this year, remind me, was a Tuesday, a Monday
this year? No, it was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday.
And that's bullshit. Like, these kids, I agree with you, should be able to trick or treat on that Friday. So it is what it is. But I think that we as Americans should be able to figure that out.
I just remember Halloween as a kid. Halloween falling on a Friday was like the best like that
top
kicked
notch.
off the best fucking weekend ever.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can eat candy. Literally, your parents didn't have to feed you.
My aunt would make chili cheese fries.
Oh.
And we would order pizza and have chili cheese fries and pizza.
See, yeah.
Dicks were hard.
As a child?
Rigor mortis.
Oh.
Rigor mortis. Okay, side story though. So my godson, so he's circumcised, but he wasn't circumcised entirely, apparently. They left a flap on or something. So when he pooped at preschool or whatever, daycare, he got a little bit of poo particles stuck in the flap. And that created a UTI situation, right? So he ended up with a urinary tract infection. He had to go to the doctor, the whole works. So he's sent home from daycare for a couple days. So my friend ended up taking him back to the doctor, because he'd wake up in the middle of the night, and in his little almost 3-year-old voice, he'd go, "Mommy, my snuffy hurts." And from that day forward, I call it a snuffy. So I don't know what made me. What made me think about that is that, unfortunately, this young man in training ended up with a pain erection, and so they had to ice it down. So when Mike's sitting here talking about boners as a kid, that's where that came up.
Yikes!
So, long story short, they have to ice his snuffy to make sure that it goes down.
long boner short.
Mm-hmm.
Long boner.
All right, who's next? It's Tab.
Yes,
next?
It's Tab.
T baby.
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Oh,
and that wasn't for you.
Said that.
Yeah, fuck him.
Go ahead.
I hate him.
Do your thing.
Anyway, so a hot take of mine, which might not be so much a hot take, but the Grinch was the victim.
I agree.
He was not the villain. I mean, the Who's in Whoville made fun of him for his personality, his appearance, everything about him, and forced him to the mountain, and then poked and prodded at him to, I mean, they harassed him about being the monster he was.
And Whoville was on a snowflake.
Yeah.
And then it landed, and it became on a speck of dirt, and Horton Hears a Who.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Connections.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Uh-huh.
because my hot take
Mhm.
is the Grinch is overrated.
Which one?
Jim Carrey's The Grinch is overrated.
It is fantastic.
I know I've said this a lot, but I've been on the set of that movie personally.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't like the story of the Grinch. I don't like watching the movies. I don't like it. I'm over it.
Like
I used to like it as a kid, but now I'm sick of it. I'm sick of I don't want to watch the Grinch.
The Grinch just wanted to be left alone at home with his dog.
Right.
And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. As an adult, I can appreciate that. Jim Carrey's The Grinch, way overrated. I don't like his performance in that. I think it's too grandiose.
I think he tried too hard to be Jim Carrey.
I think that in The Grinch, the Who's are actually dealing with a hearing impairment, which is why the music is so loud, which is why he can hear it over whatever he's doing. And it's also why he can walk into all of their homes without any of them knowing. But Cindy Lou Who is young, and she's the youngest of the group. And so her hearing hasn't been impaired yet because she's so young, and that's why she was able to hear him. So I do think that is a thing. But yeah, no, the Grinch was a villain or a victim. Sorry.
A victim.
100%.
Yeah, he was.
He's the hero of the story.
Oh, yeah.
Personally.
Now, I like Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I very much do.
I'm with B-word.
I don't like the new Grinch.
The Benedict
Never saw it.
Cumberbatch one?
The Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Never
I
saw it.
don't like it.
Gunnar loves that one.
He does. Very much so.
Because it's a cartoon.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And it's modern for kids today.
Yeah.
And you want my hot take? I don't like the original Grinch. I hate it.
It's boring. It's
I can't.
so fucking boring.
Yep.
I loved it as a kid. Can't watch it now.
I didn't even like it as a kid.
As a kid, I appreciated it. I liked it, but it's a Christmas movie for kids. And this is coming from a guy who is like, his favorite thing is people who fly around and wear capes and fight bad guys.
Yeah.
Or have utility belts. They're facing me.
Apparently, I asked Santa for the wrong thing because I asked him for utility belts. Now I have utility bills.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
He gives you the wrong things
Utility.
when you grow up.
This is not the utilities you're looking for.
It's not the utilities. All right. So
you're
goes
out.
to B word. You have any more?
Wait, I
hot
thought that
takes?
was Mike.
That was Mike.
Mine was The Grinch sucks.
Oh, I thought that was Tabs. Okay.
It was mine. He
Grinch can suck my dick.
I mean, I don't know if I want the Grinch to suck my dick if we're being candid here, but it is what it is. So Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, becomes Jigsaw. I know that's a theory that's out there.
Oh, I love
but my
that.
hot take is that it's legit. Kevin McAllister was a deranged little boy. He was a sadist. He was the villain of that movie. Fun fact, I actually think it was on the podcast that you were listening to, the breakfast one.
Confused Breakfast.
Confused Breakfast. They actually showed that Kevin's plane ticket was thrown in the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
After they spilled the soda.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot more to the story than we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Kevin McAllister was inspired by his creepy next door neighbor once he saw the next door neighbor beat up Marvin and the other one, Harry. And I think that Kevin saw that and he just continually progressed, as we see in Home Alone 2.
Yes.
And I think as he continued to grow up, he probably was a kid that made his own pipe bombs. He probably went and did all that sort of stuff. And he ends up becoming Jigsaw. I think that's a real story. I think it's a real theory.
I have to
I think it's
disagree
something
with that.
that could happen.
I have to disagree with that.
I don't think he would be Jigsaw because of the timelines.
Thank you. Exactly.
But I do believe he could be that school shooter, that crazy person that goes after people.
Columbine.
But no. Hear me out. It's because he doesn't have seniority. He has older brothers and sisters and cousins that bully him, and he's always the outcast. So what is the outcast going to do? They're going to retaliate to try and get attention.
Yeah.
You're going to say that Kevin McAllister's going to shoot up a school?
I sure the fuck did.
Wow.
No.
Lived in
No, I did
Colorado.
He's
not.
got his star on the Walk of Fame. Don't do that to Macaulay.
I mean, he's
Separate the art from the artist.
he's pounding Brenda's song. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's that. So okay, let me add on to that though. Kevin McAllister's mom, I don't remember her name in the movie. But anyway, her mom, well, just Kate, when she's in the airport, she says that she will sell her soul to get back to Chicago.
I know.
And right after that happens, old John Candy himself shows up and
John
says,
Candy
you need to get to John Candy's Satan.
John Candy is the devil.
Oh, fucking
100%.
love that.
I heard this theory literally 24 hours ago.
That is amazing. Yeah. I love that fan theory.
So, and in the airport, it's set up on a cross. So she's already on a cross. And she says, hey, I would sell my soul, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, here comes John Candy as Satan that says,
I heard that.
Oh, wait, you want to do this? And so she leaves with the Polka King, right? Therefore, sealing the deal. She gets home and her family shows up 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
She never needed to do that.
No.
She could have made it home on time.
The airport that she was at when she met John Candy.
Yeah.
It's at a crossroads.
Oh, shit.
And where do you, if you want to meet
if you want to meet a demon.
Well, yeah, you go to a crossroads.
Yep.
Well, what do you think the devil is? The devil is a demon, homie.
Well,
but hold on. Let's not speak ill of John Candy on this podcast.
No, Satan's fucking rad.
So to say John Candy's an evil person.
No, he's not evil.
That same John Candy, I have, and here's another theory. His Polka King character is the same John Candy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes.
Is the same John Candy as Uncle Buck.
I can see the Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
I've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, unfortunately.
Who was the youngest child in Uncle Buck?
Macaulay Culkin.
And it's set in what city?
Chicago. You're out of here.
Bumblebee tuna.
Oh,
your balls are showing
again.
So my turn.
Go. Get it.
This one is the biggest.
Going to get me made fun of, but I don't care.
This one is one of my biggest fucking Christmas pet peeves.
Yeah.
Hallelujah is not a Christmas song. God damn it.
See, it's not. But
I agree.
They play it.
But you can make the argument that any faith-based Christianity song praising Jesus can be a Christmas song because Jesus is the center of Christmas in religion. Okay.
Right.
So like the little baby in a manger, the whole works, like there's the whole argument that is what it is. So while I don't think that it's Christmas like Santa Claus Christmas, I do think that it's Christmas because it's Christmas and it is the worship of the meaning of the season.
Did you know that it's actually, if you listen to the lyrics and read the lyrics, it's a scandalous story about infidelity and betrayal.
So was the Book of David.
But that's, I mean, it's he cheated on her.
I'm with you.
Another one of yours.
But it is not. Just because it has Bible characters in it does not mean that it's about Jesus and Christmas and the Bible and Christianity.
But that's like saying Baby It's Cold Outside is not a Christmas song.
It is not a Christmas. It's not a Christmas song. It's a seasonal song. And were you going to bring the hot take into that one?
No, but
that like if you listen to the lyrics of that song and you listen to the next verse, they're flirting with each other. It is not a rape thing.
No, it isn't.
So
it isn't.
Thank you.
It isn't.
It is not.
It is not. No, I believe that.
Leave that song alone.
I know.
You know they changed the lyrics.
Oh, I know they did.
Consensual.
Oh, you know they took out drinking and smoking.
Yeah, they took. Yeah, they made it gay.
They make everything gay.
They took out the fun stuff.
You know why?
Because drinking is cool.
You know why? Because gay is the way.
Smoking and drinking is cool.
See, they changed the Mandalorian too, because he would go, "This is the way." Now it's just gay is the way.
This is the gay, and he points over to
that
guy over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta piggyback off of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Having the word Christ and Christmas doesn't mean anything. It's just a coincidence.
I disagree with that.
Pagans are the reason for the season. But anyway.
I disagree with that. I think that you can make the argument about Easter.
Easter.
Easter has to do with fertility in the whole pagan thing.
And rabbits fuck like rabbits
fuck like bunnies,
you dumbass.
But Christmas, okay, comes from the word Christ. Like you can't just sit there and go, well, it doesn't mean that that's legitimately why it was named that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to name it Winter Festival, if you want to name it, I like to be white with my tits out, like whatever you want to say, like, okay, fine. But when you say having Christ in Christmas doesn't matter. No, that's literally what the holiday is for. It's the celebration of his birth. Even though in any historical document that you read, he was actually born in harvest, which points to potentially September area. And so, but it's celebrated in the wintertime. So go figure.
He was born in the springtime.
No, he died in the springtime.
Crops, bruh.
That's what he died.
I got it flip-flopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then I stand corrected. Okay.
Well, I mean, you don't have to change your. You don't have. I'm just arguing with you. You don't have to be.
No. I mean, like, if we're bringing that into play, I mean, that's
believe in anybody's religion. So
I mean, that's the trees. When you bring your pine trees inside and you hang stuff on them, it was a gift to the gods. It was celebrating
Michael Myers' head on the side of your Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But you're saying, but it's one thing to say, if you're doing that, you're celebrating that. And yeah, I can understand that argument. It's another thing to say that having Christ in Christmas doesn't mean anything. Like, we live in a world where the two mesh. The two are together, and us trying to sit there and sift through the pieces of salt to find the granule of pepper doesn't it like completely precludes the thought process that, hey, Christians celebrate this for this, pagans celebrate this for this, but you don't look at the melding throughout the last 1,000 years of that coming together. And so it's like saying, okay, well,
you just broke my bracelet.
How about you, Noah?
Well, I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Who, me or him? Because I'll shit in a stocking.
Well, I really can't stay because, baby, it's cold outside. So,
are you gonna rape me?
So, is it my turn now?
Yes.
My hot take is that Santa Claus was a fucking dickhead to Rudolph.
Yep.
He was a fucking dick.
He was.
So, like, Donner, right? Supposedly Rudolph's father slept with some fucking deer prostitute and ended up with, like some, STD ridden reindeer, and hence the red nose, right?
Yeah.
And like, but Santa Claus was a fucking dick to him, dude. Like he had a chance to say what like in the whole reindeer god of it all. He was like, "Oh, sir, could you please give me a red nose that glows?" Like, he didn't choose that. That's like me saying, "Hey, I wanted a little dick." I didn't choose that either.
Jesus gave that to you.
So Santa Claus is a douchebag.
I'll agree on that one. So I read this hot take, and it's not my hot take, but holy shit,
it counts.
So Tim Allen's the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The best Santa Claus ever.
The best movie Santa Claus. Well,
no.
He was actually a piece of shit.
Tim Allen?
Yes, he was.
Yes, because when Santa,
are you saying Tim Allen is like in general?
No. His character.
Oh, Scott Calvin.
Yeah, Scott Calvin is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because when Santa fell off the roof, he was dying. He wasn't dead. You could see him breathing.
Right. He could have called.
And that he could have saved him, but instead he took his clothes off of him and put it on himself.
Well, the card said, if you read the card that he took from him, or that was laying there in the snow.
I haven't seen this movie in like 20 years.
There's a card, and it reads, "If this happens to me, do this."
Mm.
He followed the instructions.
He did what he was. He did. And even his kid, fuck that kid, by the way.
Yeah.
Worst kid in a movie ever. But yeah, the instructions on the card, on the back of it, read,
he still treats
people
like shit.
If I fall off the roof and if this happens to me, put on my jacket and my pants and boots and hat,
yeah,
and keep this going.
Because I'm gonna do that. Sure.
I would. Shit. If I could be Santa Claus, that would be dope.
Oh, baby. Well, I think he's still a piece
I would
of shit.
love to be Santa Claus.
Do you still think that Scott Calvin though is the best Santa Claus in film?
Well, personally, he's my favorite one. Yes.
Who's your favorite Santa Claus, Tabs?
On screen Santa. And the wrong answer is Ed Asner.
Ed Asner was a great Santa Claus.
He was a great Santa Claus. I don't know because I really don't like Miracle on 34th Street.
Wait, which one? The remake or the original?
Both. I've never seen
Richard Attenborough, John Hammond.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen. I'll take that back. He's my favorite Santa.
The deaf girl scene is what sells me on that one, but I've never seen the original.
Richard Attenborough is the best on-screen Santa Claus.
I don't know who would be the best on-screen Santa.
Disappointed in you for that. Kurt Russell, Christmas Chronicles, best
Never seen
live
it.
action Santa. It's a great. It's a great. It's a
David
great film.
Harborough, Silent Night. He's my Santa.
Well,
okay, that's fine.
David Harborough, and you're trying to cheat on me with him.
I'm not going to cheat on.
He's on your hall pass list.
It's okay. You know about it, so it's not cheating.
That's fair.
And best animated Santa Claus is in Rise of the Guardians.
Never saw it.
Paramount Plus. Watch it tonight, tomorrow, whenever.
Rise of the Guardians.
It's Rise of the Guardians.
Okay.
It's an animated
the cartoon.
Movie.
And Gunnerman would love it. So it centers around Jack Frost.
Okay.
And Jack Frost is like this outcast from all of the kids. I don't know if you want to call them idols or whatever, but it's like the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus.
Fairy.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah.
It's the Avengers, but for
gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's
the worst on-screen Santa Claus was the robot Santa Claus from that Christmas movie that everybody made a big hype over last year.
What one?
The Jerry from ER. He was a robot and they were having sex. Oh, yeah, that's the worst Santa Claus.
Worst on-screen Santa Claus was Billy Bob Thornton.
Bad Santa?
Was he really Santa Claus though?
No, he wasn't really Santa Claus, but
he was a mall Santa.
Yeah.
But Bad Santa rules. That movie's funny as shit. I like it.
It has midgets in it. I love anything with midgets.
Then I have a video on Instagram that Aaron sent me. I'm sending to you.
I already have it.
Oh, I bet he has a list of us with the upside down and the chicken wing.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken.
Yep.
It looks
a little
like
burnt, but yeah.
It's a rotisserie chicken. It's one of those Kroger.
So okay. Anyway, the one and only person that actually gave us a hot take, and I don't know if it's really a hot take or not, was Matt Mish of the Bromigos podcast.
Shout out to Mish.
He said Italians have the best holiday cuisine, especially specifically the Feast of the Seven Fishes on the Eve.
Okay, Jersey Shore.
He's not Italian, dude. He's a Polak, I think. Oh, and I'm not sure if Polak is offensive. Like I don't mean it that way if I say it that way, but Polish. But I don't know if he's. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine. But no, I don't know if that's really a hot take because I mean I've never had Italian dishes for the holidays. So
my family used to do raviolis, but we didn't like. A lot of that East Coast tradition wasn't passed along through my family, who is Italian. Now that might be more Sicilian than it is like Tuscan, because my family's from Tuscany. So I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, you know, people. I kind of think that people have great traditions. I have one of my best friends here. His mom does tamales every Christmas, and those tamales are fucking solid. And I would have those tamales over damn near anything.
That's West Coast.
Yeah, dude, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Like, and then the best part is when you pull off the little tamales chonies and you do it all sensual and stuff. It's so good. You sit there and beatbox the fucking corn husk and just.
All right, I'm starting to get hard now. You got to cut it out.
My stage name is Rigor. Rigor mortis.
When we get to Patreon, I'll tell you what my stage name is.
It rhymes with it, I bet.
Leave it in.
And that's the episode, ladies and gentlemen. No, but I don't have any more hot takes.
I do.
All right, go.
Ugh.
I'm wearing my Christmas pajama pants and I am sweating.
The Mariah Carey song isn't that bad.
I fucking hate that song with a goddamn passion.
I don't mind it.
I hate it.
I hope your pubic hair catches fire and you lose your dick.
Thank you, B word. Thank you.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't care.
And you know why else it's not a Christmas song, by the way? I mean, it is Christmas, yes, but
literally it is a Christmas song.
It should be a Hanukkah song because she says literally all I want for Christmas is Jew.
Jews, plural.
Sure.
8 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. One each night for 8 days.
See?
Oh,
no, that song's not that bad. It's
I
not.
can't stand it.
That's because the internet told you to.
No, I really can't stand that song.
It's like people who like
that is the first song that they play at midnight on November 1st. Like the clock.
Oh my God, that changes my whole mind.
Well, no, and they outplay it. It's overplayed. It's overrated.
I listened to it twice today.
Congratulations. Do you want to cook?
I would much rather be rickrolled.
I love that song.
Than listen to Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas is Jews.
Because of the internet, I'm almost kind of sick of that fucking song. Rick Astley.
Oh, I was like, wait, you just changed your mind? What?
No, I would never change my mind. I don't mind that song. Plus, 90s Mariah Carey was a smoke show.
Oh.
Okay. Mariah Carey's best album, Honey.
Yes. Yes,
I'll agree.
I don't even know if I was old enough to cream puff yet, but I will tell you, if I was, I expelled a lot of my daughter's siblings on that album.
Dude, I asked for that album for Christmas when I was a kid just so I could look at the flip book and the CD cover.
Between that one, TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool, and Salt and Pepper, oh my God, I lost a lot of potential children to those.
I learned how to jack off to that.
I learned how to jack.
Album.
I learned how to jack off to Peach on Mario Kart.
Okay, that's just weird.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And back in the day, like I would just like lean back and do it, and then I'd sit back up and I'd play Mario Kart until one day it wasn't as simple as I thought it was going to be.
No, the cover book for Mariah Carey's Honey album had almost nudes in it.
Oh my God, it was so tastefully done.
It was great. It was damn near like Playboy.
This is fantastic.
Almost.
I love being here.
And I wanted a taste of her honey, if I'm being honest.
Well,
but the song her honey,
she actually says
her honey and my honey. Yeah, her honey and my honey are two different things. Because she wants honey washing over me, right? Like,
yeah,
my honey is completely like a glazed donut, right?
B-word wants
her honey. Her honey has a higher percentage of urine than mine does.
I'm gonna start crying.
So do you have any more hot takes, B-word?
B-word wants to be sticky during sex.
Yeah, this is probably...
Oh, he's going to be a sticky bandit.
This is probably the worst, best Christmas podcast episode that I've been a part of.
I mean, look at who your guest starring on. I mean...
I'm glad it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have more.
I have another one.
Oh, I have one more, but you go first.
B-word, do you have any more?
Yeah, I could pull one up here. Hold on one second.
Well, then.
So.
That's all you get is one.
I have one more.
Secret Santas. Secret Santa should go away.
It's a dumb fucking tradition.
You know why? Because especially when you do like a white elephant gift or whatever, where all of the gifts are in there, and then you take your turn and you pull out the gift, and then you can steal from people.
Right.
One year I ended up getting stuck with body butter.
You didn't use it?
No, I didn't.
What?
I wanted my popcorn tin that I brought. And I stole it from somebody, and I was like, I got my fucking popcorn tin, and the next thing you know, it was stolen from me, and the only thing left on the table was some body butter.
You didn't use that to exfoliate and moisturize your
No, I did not.
Oh,
yeah.
I can see B-word rubbing body.
Well, you know what? That's valid because remember that one Christmas event, Halloween haunted house meeting.
Hanukkah.
Sure.
Yeah,
no.
Potato.
I got the Toxic Avenger.
Yes. Fuck him. I'm glad.
No.
I'm kidding.
So the dude, he stole it from me. I had it the entire fucking time. No.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was a signed Toxic Avenger action figure. And I held it the entire time because nobody wanted it. And this dude,
motherfucker,
like, I guess because he hated me so much that he took it from me. I'm like, do you even know who the fuck this is? And he was like, I just wanted it. And then 2 years later, he passed away. So I don't even get my Toxic Avenger.
It was signed by
action figure.
That could have been a totem that you didn't want to have because in 2 years you could have passed away.
That's true.
Well, then
I don't know.
Fucked around, found out.
Yeah. Sure. I have nothing to do. I was gonna say I have nothing to do with it.
Fuck him for that. Because I was excited that
for me
that was gonna be
in our possession.
House. Yes.
Yeah. Since you went off that one, I have a hot take.
Go.
NSYNC's Christmas album is a fucking banger.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
That is like one of my top tier Christmas albums.
It's in your top 3.
Oh yeah.
No, listen to it every year.
I do, and I have yet to listen to it. I better get on it.
Yeah, well.
Ooh.
We're going to Indianapolis in a couple of weeks.
Ooh.
If it was a genuine album, you would just jump on it, just do it, ride it, my pony.
Yeah. Not pony, reindeer.
Yeah, ride that reindeer.
Same tune though. Speaking of Christmas music, my final hot take. Open phone, you dumbass. No one ever, no one has ever written better Christmas music than John Williams.
It's not really a hot take. I mean, I wouldn't consider that a hot take.
You wouldn't, but people listening to this might.
Bing Crosby.
No, John Williams did it better. Somewhere in my memory. End of discussion.
Sinatra.
Nope.
Actually, I don't think Sinatra wrote
cover
anything.
songs.
He didn't write anything.
They're all covers. Somewhere in my memory is an original.
Oh, Elvis. Blue Christmas.
Oh, I hate that song. Oh, I hate that song.
I'm just saying it's.
I know. It's a Christmas one, yeah.
But it sucks.
Blue.
What about Celine Dion's Christmas album?
Fuck Celine Dion and her big ass fucking nose.
Fuck you. She's my queen.
Celine Dion can fucking be armpits to Jesus on a fucking roller coaster and crash.
1, 2,
breathe.
3, 4,
breathe.
5, 6.
She is on her way to Jesus, by the way.
Guess what? Once she dies, her heart will go on.
In a positive way. B-word, I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
You know who can't kick the shit out of anything? A fucking 90-pound Celine Dion.
God damn it. This isn't funny.
I think it's hilarious.
I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
I guess Santa is the only one coming for Christmas this year.
It usually is.
Yeah. Mike Sack normally is only emptied once a year too, which is why I confuse him with Santa already. But
well, I have no more hot takes. Do you have any more? That was your last one, right?
Yep.
B-word, do you have any more?
No, I'm good.
I'd say it was fun.
All right. Well, let's take this party over to Patreon where we can say weird things.
All the weird things.
You have to pay for the words that we say this time.
Suckers.
Tab, take us out of here.
As always, thanks for listening to this episode. Don't forget to check out our link tree at linktr.ee/Gray's Taproom Podcast 2. You will find many ways to support us. Buy us a coffee because we will be hungover after this episode. You can subscribe to our Patreon. 3 tiers are available for you. Get your buzzed on for $3, get tipsy for $5, or fully loaded for $10.
Don't text and drive, don't drink and drive, and always drink responsibly.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Taproom closed.
Good night.
Bye.